We're backstage here at the Allstate Arena, and we're actually pretty comfortable now.
Well, we should tell everybody that we're at the very back of the big arena.
Yeah.
And these rooms they're actually cold. So we came in, and you jokingly said we should put on the costumes because they're like Yeti fur things.
Not so much of a joke now.
But now we actually feel like we could talk.
Yes, we can. Wayne Coyne.
Hello, everybody.
Of the Flaming Lips.
Good to be here. All right.
I'm Marty Leonards, and well, here we are. This is great. I'm in a lazy boy chair. You're on a nice little couch, and we're just hours before the big show.
My nose is cold. You're right. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being in Chicago.
Of course, I know. Well, it's kind of a surprise to us too. You know, because we did the Pitchfork thing over the summer, and then we kept thinking we need to go to Chicago and do this thing, and then this came up. I mean, I guess a little while ago, but this came up. It was like, oh, good, we get to go to Chicago, and then we'll get to come back and do something else as well.
Sure.
You know what I mean? As the year goes.
This is the first time we've seen you in Chicago playing indoors.
I know.
In a while.
I know. See, it used to be.
This is very.
And not everybody remembers this, but it used to be we could play Chicago 10 times in a year.
Yeah.
I know, and I can understand where some people would wrongly assume that we're from Chicago because we played here so often, especially back early and mid 90s and stuff like that. So now I think we just play like any regular old group, a couple times a year if you're lucky.
Yeah. Well, it was so great at the Pitchfork Festival. Certainly, the weather was a lot different. It was a nice, warm night, and
yes, it was perfect. Yeah.
And boy, you really just filled that park and filled it with so much joy and fun.
Well, thank you. You never know. The Pitchfork, audience. You don't know. Have they seen everything in the world? And this is very judgmental. We always worry because it's. More often than not, I'm the oldest guy walking around backstage, and we're a group that, we've been around forever, and you just don't know. Now, maybe people are going to not care about this. But I have to say, as we started to get ready to go on, it really, you felt that surge of like, this is just going to be the greatest thing ever. And then you get out there and people give you their energy and their enthusiasm. And my nose is running.
It's December in Chicago. Happy holidays,
But
everyone.
it is a very cold couple of days here.
Yeah.
Even by your standards.
It's been bad.
Yeah,
it's been bad the past few days.
Yeah.
I like this. I actually am going. I was wondering what I should ask for Christmas to keep me warm this winter, and I think it's this.
I love this.
I need.
I'd love to send you one of these for Christmas. That'd be great. Yeah.
That would be the best Christmas ever.
Excellent. Consider it done. You heard it here.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the holidays. What do the Flaming Lips do for? I mean, you've had Santa Claus as part of your show.
We have
in the past in the summertime, and now here we are leading up to Christmas.
Well, I think
what do you do?
You're in a rock group, and for the longest time, you just don't know how you acknowledge or how do you gravitate towards these things that you just really like, and it gets around Christmas time, and I think everybody does an obligatory Christmas song, whatever, and it would be maybe some standard from their childhood or something. And I think as we went, I really started to embrace the idea that I really do love Christmas music, even if it's not Christmas. And even at our house, I mean, a lot of people do this now, but even back at our house during the late 70s and 80s, we would leave Christmas decorations up all year. Now that's kind of a normal thing because Christmas decorations are so cheap or whatever. But we did that one tour. I think it was in 1995 and 1996 when we brought the 2 tons of Christmas lights with us. Brought our own generator and ran an extension cord out the back of these 500-seat clubs that we would play, and draped the whole place in Christmas lights. There'd be a moment at the beginning we'd kick into the song and it'd all come on, and you could hear an audible gasp, like, "Oh wow!" And I think it's partly because it's a great. It's a great, timed thing. But it's also, I think everybody has some reaction to seeing Christmas lights. And of course, it probably plays with your childhood and your subconscious and all these triggers, But I would always say that Christmas music it deals in sound effects a lot. We got sleigh bells, and we have the
chimes
weather and chimes and angelic voices, and a lot of rock music does that as well. We just forget that it's that, and we think, oh, we have to play drums and guitars or whatever. And I've always been about, let's do atmospheres. Let's create moments. It's not just about instruments. Instruments are there, but it's also, inserting, not, something that makes you think that there's a setting for this music. Of course, Christmas music does that perfectly. So we would do our own Christmas music. And then it didn't seem strange for the Flaming Lips to make a movie called Christmas on Mars. I think by the time I announced we were going to make a movie Christmas on Mars, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we know," like, "Of course you will," So I take, and I forget that not all groups get to embrace these, like, not childish things, but childlike elements of their music and just indulge it so much. And so, that's the fact that we're sitting here in Yeti suits that are backstage at a Flaming Lips show. I know I forget how stupidly free we really are to do exactly what we want.
Yeah. Well, in the sound check, I heard some strains of White Christmas.
Yes, we did. Well, we thought we should rehearse it a little bit. We've done that quite a few times, but you don't do it unless it's around Christmas time, and this is close enough.
I think it's close enough.
We would, whenever we play shows, if it gets past Thanksgiving, even if we're in Europe or something, we will start to do it. But it should be appropriate.
Now, Christmas in Mars was many years in the making.
It was more years in the making than I considered it should be in the beginning. But we started making it in 2001 and didn't finish it till it came out last year, a year ago. Yeah. Quite a while. But I have to say, if I would have finished it in the first couple of years, I can't imagine it being nearly as wonderful to watch as now. I mean, all the technology and all the guys that worked with me and all the stuff that happened in the making of that made it a more interesting and richer and more just, funnier and sadder. Every element of it, the music that we made for it, we redid that probably 3 or 4 different times, thinking, oh, it should be this. And then 2 years go by, oh, no, let's do this. So, sometimes that can be a great accident.
Yeah.